As time progressed, my speech and my confidence, it continued to improve. I'd have more and more positive experiences, and that made me happy. I'd be present in the moment when I'm talking to people, because in the past, I was never present. I was always just stuck in my own head, and that contributed to my struggles. As time went on, things only became better, and I genuinely felt like I was being rewarded for achieving something great, for basically defying how society has pushed people. Because if you really think about it, right now, in this day and age, society is very sexualized. It's almost like people feel so empty inside that they have to resort to lust and temptation in order to get their validation. I feel it is sad. However, it is only when you are able to let go of that lust and that incessant need for attention and validation from people. It is only then that you are able to confront your own shadows. As time has gone on, I've had more good days than I have had bad days. I still have not so good days from time to time, but it is very few and far between. This one decision to start semen retention, it turned out to change my life, and it put me on a path where I was able to overcome, for the most part, a condition that they consider incurable. It doesn't make sense to the logical person that this type of transformation can occur so quickly. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I never stutter anymore, because it's obvious in my videos that I've had a couple of hiccups here or there. However, that doesn't stop me from expressing myself, and that is my point. I am not claiming that I am completely perfect now. What I am claiming is that how I am speaking right now, I would not be able to speak like this even 4 years ago. And for that, I am very grateful. I'm grateful that I was able to discover one of the most esoteric and ancient secrets that is known to mankind. It is a secret that has been long forgotten. But now that times are starting to change, some say that we are entering into a new age of Aquarius, the age of information. The wisdom here is to not abuse the sexual function in your body. Many esoteric circles believe that abusing your sexual energy, that is what they were referring to in the Garden of Eden story when Eve took a bite from the apple. which symbolizes the orgasm, the release of one's sexual energy, which ultimately leads to your consciousness falling and becoming more dense in the physical world. However, if you do not abuse the sexual function and instead harness it and use it responsibly, that leads to consciousness actually rising to spiritual knowledge of what is beyond this world. This is what is happening to men around the world who are practicing semen retention. We are all experiencing the same phenomenon. It's almost like we are all mirror projections of each other, because the path and journey from person to person is just so similar. People start to think in the exact same way and come to the same conclusions because they are operating at a very similar frequency through cultivating their sexual energy and not just depleting it through ignorance to its inherent value. I've mentioned this in a previous video, but the orgasm is a short circuit inside your body. I don't think your body was built to actually experience it, because it is just too powerful, and that is the reason why it causes our consciousness to actually lower, because it is overindulging in the pleasure, in the physical pleasure. When we do this, it basically closes us off from any type of spiritual intelligence and knowledge. It disconnects you from Source, from God. I'm excited to see where this journey continues to take me, because so far it has been very fulfilling. It has not been easy by any stretch of the imagination. There are times where you can't help but think, why am I doing this? What is the point? And shortly after these kinds of thoughts enter your mind, you are reminded by how far that you have come. And you start to have an overwhelming sense of appreciation that you have been blessed and rewarded. If I hadn't taken SR seriously, if I hadn't come to the knowledge of how important it is to not be frivolous with your life force energy, I wouldn't be here today sharing my story through public videos. It just wouldn't even be a possibility for me, because if I was so insecure about having a conversation with a friend and me embarrassing myself through my speech impediment, if I was so insecure about that, and I was, how on earth would I then have the courage to start posting public so that the whole world can see? It completely changes you. It is very powerful. If my story is able to give you motivation to actually take it seriously, then I think that I have succeeded. Success for me isn't so much about what I personally achieve. It is what you are able to do for others. It wouldn't be as impressive if I had just kept all of these thoughts and wisdom to myself. I'm not helping anyone if I was to do that. However, at least now that I'm starting to open up a lot more and just go out with it, whoever likes it, then awesome. I appreciate it. Whoever doesn't, then that's okay too. At a certain point, you can't expect everyone to understand. It has changed my life, and I know that I will not be going back, because at a certain point, if you were to make a decision to go back, that would kind of be insulting everything and everyone that has helped you. I'm excited to see what the future has in store for me, but also for you. Because if you are on this path, I can guarantee you that life-changing things will start happening in your life. It may look different to how it was for me. I can think of a whole number of conditions that SR will completely obliterate. This isn't treating the symptom. This is healing the root cause from within. I have faith and I do have confidence in that for you.